Welcome to another episode of the Chronicles of Mr. I'm Mr. Pierre, and I'm so glad to be joined by another Black male educator in today's episode. Mr. Bethia, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Mr. Pierre. Definitely appreciate it.
Because I'm not in your classroom, how do your students usually address you? Is it Mr.
Uh,
B?
actually, yeah,
Okay,
Mr. B.
Mr. B. Okay, so
Actually, I'm a
I'll
behavior
do this.
specialist. So I have a classroom. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, so that I'll do the same. I'll address you as Mr. B then.
Yeah, Mr. B.
And you were saying your classroom?
Oh, yeah. I was just I'm speaking about the classroom. I'm actually a behavior specialist. So most of the time, I'm actually going into other teachers' classrooms. Kind of observing the students, speaking with teachers, seeing what advice or strategies maybe we can implement with students who may be having some, behavioral difficulties. But I also do have my classroom as well, where I also pull students in for small groups just to work on some skills and things of that nature.
If I could start off with this first question that I usually ask my guests, it's what brought you into the realm of education?
Really, what brought me into it is just myself. I feel like being in school and maybe some of the interactions I've had in the public school system. I was born in New York. I was raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. And just what I've noticed a lot is that depending on which schools you are and depending on your classmates and your colleagues, a lot of times your light, so to say, may not always be accepted by all. I think that a lot of students navigate through a lot of challenges that adults probably may not even know about. For instance, sometimes just you being educated and liking school can become a problem, depending on who your classmates or who's in your class. A lot of times for me, at times that was the case. So I just wanted to be more of a person to kind of lead by example, let students know I'm human, just like you. I'm going through a lot of the same situations as you, from either bullying to having issues with certain teachers to, not at times coming from the best communities, but at the end of the day, you just got to be mindful and strong in who you are as a person and kind of stay away from the distractions and noise. And then if you have that in you, you can do and be anything you want to be.
You said a lot of things that I'm not sure if everyone picked up on. Number one, hearing you speak about the light makes me think of Coach Carter in that quote of like, what are folks most afraid of? And that is just like being as bright as possible because when you are as bright as you are, it makes some people sort of fearful that they are not as bright in that particular way. They might be bright in their own way or some different aspect, but because you are unabashedly shining, whether that be, hey, I like to read, or I like anime, or I'm really into this, or I really like math or science, and I'm good at it, and yeah, I'm good at it. That sort of
Hmm.
makes some people, whether it's students and sometimes adults, sort of
Hmm.
feel some type of way. And so that's number
Hmm.
one. Number two, the recognition of, hey, I'm just like you, I'm just older, right? Or as the younger kids are now saying, you're an unk, Mr. Pierre, and I'm the young gun. And that's fine.
Hmm.
I just hope to give you or pass on some tools that will hopefully make your journey not as rough as it was for me, or just give you the tools to be able to navigate whatever you're going through. And then
Hmm.
lastly, like we said before we started recording, there are not a lot of us. So when we as Black men show up in a classroom, more often than not, kids are just like, huh? I haven't had it before. And so that is
Hmm.
another reality for us, whether it be a behavior specialist, whether it be a classroom teacher, whether it be an AP, a principal, whatever it may be. There are just not a lot of us within the school system. And in doing this podcast for as long as I've done it, one of the things I've realized is
Hmm.
if you've been traumatized as a young Black boy, more often than not, you don't want to return to the place of trauma. It's like I'm not looking to be a teacher when the teachers are the ones who made life difficult for me. And so I recognize that, and I'm hoping that folks like myself, like you, are going to change that narrative so that, yeah, more and more kids who look like us will be able to see educators and specialists and APs and principals and superintendents who look like them. So yeah, so thank you for all
Right.
the things that you're doing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it.
If I could ask you, go ahead.
I don't know. I just really quickly, I just wanted to expound on one of the things you said as well, as far as, us as Black men and Black educators and being in the classroom. I just want to make sure too to get in front of any misconception that it may be easier for us to deal with kids or people that look like us.
Yeah.
And in actuality, just from, I've been in education for like 12 years now, and I know there's others that's been in there any longer, but a lot of times, depending on the child, it could be more difficult. Just me growing up in a, like I said, in a pretty rough community. Myself, I'm from Hidden Valley in Charlotte, North Carolina. So people from Charlotte, they know exactly what that means when I say that community. A lot of times, and then as well, you are out in California, and as well, I'm not from there, but I have, heard stories and seen things. And a lot of things I see is that we are our worst enemy. So a lot of times when they see us come in front of them, it's more of a stressor or a trigger than anything. It's like, who are you? Who are you coming to tell me what to do? You're not my father. You're not this. Oh, you think you big and bad, you? And a lot of times we, ourselves have to break that barrier before we can even reach the child. So, I just wanted to say that on this podcast, as well, that you know, just because we look the same doesn't mean that it's any easier. We're fighting the same battle as anyone else in education. And thank you.
You're so on point because currently in California, but I'm originally from Massachusetts. So being an East Coast guy who's now on the West Coast, and you said, hey, being born in New York and then being raised in Charlotte, and even, or excuse me, in Hidden Valley. But speaking to what you just said of like, look, anyone who's from this area, if you know, and when I say Hidden Valley, you know what that means. Similarly for
Hmm.
myself, I'm not from California, so there were a lot of things that I had to learn. And
Hmm.
what I did was just ask the kids, like, hey, I'm not from here. What do I need to know? Where's the best place to get this? Where's the best place to get that? In your opinion? In your opinion, what's the this or that? Hey, this is what I'm accustomed to. Being from the East Coast, Massachusetts particularly, hey, I like the Red Sox. I understand if I wear red or if I do certain things, it's going to say this, but that's not what I'm about. Should I do that or not? A lot of kids like, nah, Mr. Pierre, don't do that. When
Yeah.
you do this,
Yeah.
this is what it's communicating. Thank you very much. I'm not about that life. I'm trying to see next week.
Yeah.
So cool. Thank you very much for letting me
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
coming from a place of like, hey, you young people, educate on. Let me know what the deal is. Sweet. And so I
Hmm.
think that dynamic too of letting the kids know, like, I don't know everything. In actuality, you know, in certain areas, please shine in this way so that everyone can benefit, myself included. The kids are, because you mentioned that part about the light, and it made me think of Coach Carter. There's a scene where he's asking one of the students, like, hey, what are you most afraid of? What's your fear? And it's being able to just shine bright. Because when folks see you shining, it sort of makes them feel some type of way. And that's both students and teachers. There are some teachers, some educators that get triggered by seeing an intelligent person who's younger than them, and they're not able to handle that. And when you mentioned, secondly, like, hey, if I'm from I was born in New York, but I'm in Hidden Valley, and anyone who's from Charlotte understands what that means. Me, I was born in Massachusetts. I'm now in California. Likewise, I just went to the students like, hey, I'm new to the West Coast. What are some things that I should know? Where's the best place to go eat? In your opinion, where's the best place to do this? Where's the best place to do that? Me being from the East Coast, if I do this, what does that communicate to you? Oh, it does? Okay, cool. Let me not do that because in my head it means this, or because I like the Red Sox, this is why I'm wearing red, but it doesn't mean anything else. But if that's what's communicating to you, sweet, I'm not going to do that. And letting the children know or letting the students know, like, look, you're also educating me. You also know things. So shine bright in these different areas that I'm unaware of. And when they see that, then it's like, oh snap, okay. And it's like, yeah, this is a give and go. I can learn from you as well. It's not just me sort of being like the sage on the stage. Like, no, I'm just a facilitator in this of being able to point you in the direction. So you saying those things before we had the slight gap was powerful because I don't think a lot of people are aware of it. And I
Hmm.
hope the more and more it's explicitly stated, make the explicit, excuse me, the implicit more explicit of like just saying the thing out loud so that it's like, oh, okay, we're all on the same page, we're all speaking the same language. It's like you said, just because I'm a black man doesn't mean I understand fully what our younger black boys and brown boys are going through. Like we're not monolithic.
100%.
So I can't make that assumption and being able to present myself, think that out loud, like, hey, I don't know everything. I don't know what your life is. You please tell me, inform me. And then keep it pushing from there has been the thing that I think has been very helpful in the years that I've been in front of students. Yeah.
Definitely understand.
Yeah. If I were to say to you, what age group of students do you
The elementary education, We're talking pre-K to fifth grade, so ages 4 all the way up to about 10,
Okay.
10 or 11. Yeah. Yes.
You're seeing the students right before they get to me because I'm in middle school of six,
Uh,
seven, eight.
right.
Yeah. What-
Trying to get those emotions right before they get to you. Yeah.
But even still, Mr. B, it's like the thing about emotions is that no matter how much you try to control them, at some point or another, they just present themselves. I had a coworker say like, hey, behavior is just some unmet needs, like trying to look past what did the kids do or say. It's important, a kid throwing a chair is not just like, oh, all right, Johnny threw a chair or whatever, but it's like, no, 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 what unmet need does the student have that I didn't recognize or wasn't put in place or wasn't communicated for that to have happened so that one, Johnny, you don't need to throw the chair, but two, what is it that you're not getting that's causing you to feel like, all right, I need to throw this chair to either get the attention or let out this anger or let out whatever, this frustration? What's been the thing that you've seen in elementary has been like, I guess, the biggest or the most common narrative, I guess, for the kiddos that are in front of you?
Um, a lot of the same. I really would put it as anger to be, if I was to sum it up in one word, anger or just misunderstanding. Just like you were saying about the behavior and emotions, it's going to come out in some way. And even when I'm not perfect, so I'm saying this, but I don't mean that I always handle it 100% the right way. But I try to tell people that behavior is communication. They're,
Mhm.
they don't have the words or the means of the right way to communicate it, so it's coming out like this. So try to remove yourself from it. Try not to take it personal. When they're upset, it's not you. It's something that was triggered by either something you did or something in their surroundings from something else that they're dealing with. It's not
Yeah.
you. And it's hard to really hear that, especially when you're in the front of the classroom and it's happening to you, like you said, desk being thrown, or you ripping up papers, or you calling me out my name, slamming my door, all of these things. And believe it or not, these are the same things we see in elementary education. It starts there, and we're trying to get to them early and trying to, give them some skills, some strategies, teach them how to deal with that, or talk to them about, hey man, you got to get some more vocabulary in you in order to express yourself to say, hey, look, I don't like this because of this, or I need a minute because, I'm frustrated because I don't understand the work, which
Yeah.
is, again, something that we see come up a lot as well. A lot of that anger comes from, I don't know what to do, but I don't want you to know that. And I definitely don't want my peers to know that. So I rather get angry and act out so I can A, I don't have to do the work. And B, everybody gonna think I'm tough and they're not gonna bully me because I definitely don't want them to know any of my flaws because I gotta stand on business. And that's how they feel. Yeah, that's what I usually see. Just a lot of anger and miscommunication and just not knowing how to say certain things. Even as far as yeah, we have this big thing now about, snitches. Not that it's big now, it's been like this. And I've been trying to tell kids, like y'all are really using the word in the wrong definition. You hear these rap songs and stuff like that, but that's not what a snitch is. I mean, if you're not doing something that's you shouldn't be doing, and there's not a group of you that's also doing it, and then when you get caught, somebody's just telling, nobody's snitching. If you're doing something to somebody as a civilian and they don't like that and they stand up for themselves and tell somebody, that's not snitching. That's just you being mad because someone said, I don't like something.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get that narrative out their head as well. Like, don't, if we need to speak, you need to be able to have somebody to talk to. You got to have somebody that you trust in the school to say, hey, these things are going on. I don't like it and I don't know how to deal with it. Because a lot of the times, again, that's the other thing that I see as well. Yeah.
Mr. B, Mr. B. We're gonna have to have you back because you're saying a lot. You're saying a lot. Number
Man,
one, the vocabulary or the lack thereof to be able to
that.
articulate whatever the need is at whatever age. I mean, it happens in
Yes,
middle
sir.
school, it happens in high school. I'm sure it's happening. I've had other guests on the podcast that are in even higher education where things are happening in their lives and to be able to communicate to the professor or the TA, like, hey, I have this thing going on and like I need help or I need an extension. Like the inability to be able to articulate or communicate for oneself is something that, yeah. needs to be done. We need to give the students, the kiddos, those tools at an earlier age to be able to advocate for themselves. And or, hey, like you mentioned, I have this person who I am able to say how I can say whatever it is, and they're able to like understand and then say back to me like, hey, are you saying this, 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 and this? Okay, let me go. You come with me so we can go see Mr. B and articulate to Mr. B the thing that you need to have, that support, that assistance. Um, it is crucial because when that happens, when the student sees like, okay, Mr. Pierre is listening, he's now making sure that I have this thing that I said that I need. Mr. B helped me to get that, to advocate for myself. I don't need to throw a chair. I don't need to, like you said, yell. I don't need to, now trigger my classmates that when I do raise my voice, it's distracting, it's alarming, it's jarring, it causes them to no longer be able to focus. Yeah, to be able to do that is massive. And likewise, one, we teach the students to do that, but then teaching, having adults be aware of it. Like you said, like this isn't about you personally. This you happen to be the main person at the front of the room or in the room, the adult, and therefore it's directed towards you, but it's not. The kids don't know you, therefore that shouldn't trigger you. But yeah, we're human though, so I understand
Yeah.
that if a young person is saying this or this, like, ooh, yeah, you touching some soft
Hmm.
underbelly, but being able to have those tools and to be able to like, all right, I hear you. It's not okay for you to talk to me that way. So what can we do in order to get you the thing that you need so that hey, it's not okay to do that. And then two, for you to be able to then likewise address like, hey, Mr. B or Mr. Pierre, I apologize for doing this, this, and this, and the effect that it had on the classroom, et cetera, et cetera. This is what I actually needed, and I should have been able to articulate it or some sort of sign or whatever that communicated to you that this is what I needed. It's huge. It's huge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not a lot of educators are getting that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's acquired skill over time. Okay.
Hey,
I
hey,
think
hey,
I'm back. Okay, cool, cool.
nice. Yeah, and so what you were saying about giving our kiddos the tools, giving our students the tools, the vocabulary to articulate and advocate is major, major, major.
Exactly. I think that I guess what I consider that too for me. I think that the reason why I'm able to do that, to be transparent, is it's something that I'm still working on myself. I don't have all the answers, and I really try to tell the kids that when I'm talking to them. They're like, Mr. B, well, how come this is happening, and how come I'm always getting in trouble, and how come I'm always angry? And I'm like, I look at them, I'm saying, look, I could give you some textbook answer, I could, but in reality, the real thing is I don't know, to be honest with you. And sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. But if you're willing to keep working on things and at least ask why you're doing it, you're already on the first step of fixing it. At least you care enough to figure out, why is this keep happening? Like, why does this happen to me? So for myself, I believe I'm able to give the vocabulary because it's something I work with and struggle with daily. So when I'm going through things in my personal life and I come back to work the next day, I'm like, oh man, this is almost like something I just dealt with yesterday afternoon. Let me just tell you what I did,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not like I have some special power. I'm literally just telling you how I'm living my life. There's ups and downs, and we don't always do things the right way. But as long as you're willing to get up the next day and try it again, that's all that really matters. So I feel like, best advice I can give to anybody, including myself, is the more you know you and who you are, the easier it is for you to articulate things to other people to help them. You really can't help nobody if you don't know who you are as a person. So if you're in denial about anything, if anybody's going to see it, it's going to be children.
Yeah.
Children have this wonderful skill of being able to read people. And you, as adults, me and you right here on this podcast, I can come up here and, we doing this podcast. I promise you, I could take this podcast and show it to the kids in my school, and they'll be like, oh, Mr. B, you was nervous. I'm like, what? No, I wasn't. How do you know that? Because I know you and I know these. They watch everything. So, just being transparent, and that'll help a lot too with the kids, building a relationship with them. We hear this a lot,
Exactly.
but it's true.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
true. I mean, young people have a way of being able to like sift through all the minutia, sift through like the front, whatever. What do they say? Like you're trying to flex or finesse all that stuff and be able to
Oh
like,
yeah.
I say 80% of the time see the thing. call you out on the thing, and because
Mm-hmm.
you, like you said, you haven't really sat with yourself and you're like, oh yeah, I do that. I do when I am nervous, I do this. Or when I am
Mm-hmm.
feeling like I do that thing with my hair. Like, yeah, yeah. So
Yep.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the best educators are the ones who know that they don't know everything, and
Yeah.
consequently, when they are told something about themselves, it doesn't destroy or shift their paradigm. It's just like, oh, this is
Mm-hmm.
a new piece of information. You know what, kiddo? You might be right. Give me a little time to
Yeah.
sit with this.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to you. Like, we'll see if
Yeah.
that's true or not. Whether this is a one-off or if this really is part of my personality that I haven't really taken a look at. And when we are, like you said, transparent to students to be like, you know what, I don't know. I
Yeah.
can say that to you, I don't know. Then it makes it acceptable and okay for them to then say, hey, I don't know the answer to this. Can you help me? Can you assist me? Can you give me the support? Which is what all we are. We are just looking to teach you how to hopefully be an older version of yourself, but with the tools
Mm-hmm.
that allow you to
Mm-hmm.
be able to navigate in such a way that you are not a detriment to yourself nor anyone else in the society and community that you're a part of. That's
Sir.
that's
Mhm.
that's the goal. That's the
100%.
goal. If I were to
Exactly.
ask you, is there anything that you've read or you are reading that you would highly recommend?
Yes. Now I am waiting on this to be ordered. I mean, I'm ordering and I'm waiting on it to come. I'm in a point right now, kind of going off what I just said before. At 37 years old, and this is good for, kids to know too. At 37 years old, I am trying to find out who I am. So if you haven't found out in your 20s or anything, please don't worry about it because it's a lifelong thing. You're always going to be finding out things about yourself. I came across a book of Finding of the Third Eye by Vera Stanley Adler, and I'm just trying to do more inner work on myself at this point. A lot of things that I feel like maybe I've been taught or society has taught me maybe has worked in my favor, or some things I've said. I have some questions about that. And I haven't found those answers from certain places. So I'm taking it upon myself to do some readings, to do some spiritual work on myself, and just get more in tune of who am I as a person and why am I here and what it is that I am to do. So that's my recommendation. And I haven't read it yet, but hopefully by the next time we talk, I can speak more into it. Yes, sir.
That I love it. And if you were to create a playlist, and of course this playlist can change and can shift, but today, if Mr. B were to create a playlist, who's going to be on your top five, or which songs would be on your top five? Either
All
top
right.
songs, top artists, or albums. What would make Mr. B's top five?
All right. So I thought about this as well. So I was just listening to this. So one, I got Kendrick Lamar up there. This is the Heart Part 4, actually. It's a song that really, I guess, speaks to me about just like I said, what I'm going through right now, inner struggles. So I definitely listening to that. Um, for my people that are into, kind of alternative rock and stuff, I like Deftones. I really like that group, and I have Change up there. I've actually been listening to the truck this week, to be honest, as I'm going to HEB and back. So I have that. Of course, I have Clips, the new Clips that came out, and Tyler yeah. So I got that Tyler Creator clip song, that POV. I actually like the whole album. I'm not going to lie, but if I'm going to pick a song, that's the most recent song I listened to as of yesterday. And I was just like, whoa. So I had to run that back like 4 or 5 times. Also, it's this group called Basement. Don't know if a lot of people know about them, but it's called Covet Basement. Also, like an alternative type rock group. It came out in like the 2000s. And then also Key Glock. I really, really do like Memphis music. I do. And a lot of kids, they're
Okay.
really shocked when I tell them the songs, like, hey, I know that song. I listen to that song too. What, Mr. B, you know that? Yeah, I do. And that's why I'm talking to you about it because I don't think you know it as much as you do. So listen to it, but don't do it. Just listen because it's
Yeah.
just entertainment. But yeah, I love Memphis music. I really love the cadence of Memphis style. So anytime I can get my hands on anything from Memphis, I'll definitely be listening to that. So yeah,
Yep.
a
That's
spread.
what's up.
I just kind of go through
I like
anything.
it. I like it. I like it. And I feel like that too of you like even saying to the students, like, I listen to this as well. There are deeper meanings to this. Like you're saying, don't do this. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Don't do it. However, yeah, I think that Thank you, thank you, thank you. Folks, if you're checking out this episode, whether it be on YouTube, on Spotify, or any of the other platforms, as always, love to thank you for make sure that you're clicking all the button, subscribe, hit the like, share. Appreciate it. I think in this conversation with Mr. B, this is one of many. I'm sure we're gonna have you back because there are a lot of things that you're saying that resonate, and I would love to like just go into deep for the community to really appreciate and be able to glean from it. All of us being educators, and I just enjoy speaking to other Black male educators. So thank you very much, Mr. B, for coming on the podcast.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank you too, Mr. Pierre, for even you reaching out to me in the first place. It really I really love the fact that you are out here on this platform, not only doing your content, but you're literally looking at other content saying, hey, let me get them on. Hey, let me do that. I need to get this information out to people. So it just speaks to the work that you're doing. Like you're doing this for the masses. You're not even doing this for you. So it's just selfless, the stuff that you're doing. And I just appreciate being able to be on your platform. So thank you so much, Mr. Pierre.
Appreciate you as well. As you see here, folks, this is not a competition. We're all working in concert. We want the same thing. So thank you, Mr. B. I'm Mr. Pierre. He's Mr. B. This is another episode of the Chronicles of Mr.